Okay, so this is the spaceship that I finally came up with. I'm going to redo all of this because of the problems that we had yesterday. So I'll start file new and start with the 10 by 10. Now I eventually put in a black background and I use layers to do that. I'm not going to do that at the moment. Anyway, started with the ellipse tool, made herself an ellipse, and then came on up and used the anchor point tool to remove two of the anchor points. And then we went back to the pen tool. Notice how there's a minus there? That's a problem. Won't work. So I need to hold down Shift, and I'm going to click, and I'm going to just keep on holding down Shift. Then I'll hit Escape, so it'll make that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it all and go to Windows Pathfinder, and I'm going to hit Divide. Remember that the goal of this is that I want two separate parts. Okay? It's going to help out a lot. So let's put that back together. Remember that the blue line means that it's in isolation mode. So now I'm going to make the top of it. And I'm just trying to think about how I want to do the top of this thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do with the top of it is I'm going to click, double click, hold down Alt, and I'm going to make another one. Then from another one, I'm going to make a circle, and then I'm going to select both of them, and I'm going to do, I believe it's wrong one. I'm going to do not intersect. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one, I'm going to right click, I'm going to arrange it, and I'm going to bring it to the front. Then I'm going to center this one a little bit better, drop it so it looks better, select both of them, and I'm going to minus the front. What that does is it creates this so that I can drop that down, and it should have fit perfectly. It looks like it's a little bit off, so I'll just twist it. And now I have my top. Okay, last piece is I want to make the bit of raise down there. So I'll make the shape of it. And then, just like last time, I'm going to double click and get this shape. Click, hold down Alt. I just made a second one. Okay. And I kind of got two choices actually with this one. So I was going to cut it out. Like that was kind of my point with this. But I changed my mind. Okay, I changed my mind again. I actually am going to cut it out. So I'm going to grab this one. And I need to hold down Alt, click, Alt, drag. I'm going to drag that one down, and then I'm going to take this, and what I'm shooting to do is cut the top of this off. So now I'm going to take I didn't duplicate it that time, so I made a mistake. Again, click, Alt, down. There we go. And it didn't work again. Sorry. Let's try that one more time. There we go. Alt click, sorry. So then I have my piece, put it in the center. I'm going to right click on the background. I'm going to go to arrange and I'm going to bring that to the front. Now I select both of them. I go to minus the front. Now I have this shape. I can move that up, and it twists a little bit. I don't know why I'm having this little bit of a problem, but anyway, let's get that. There we go. Have that lined up. So now I have all my pieces. From here, I certainly could try to make this light bend a little bit. So to do that, I'm going to add a anchor point, and then I'm going to take that anchor point. I'm going to convert the anchor point. And then I'm going to grab that anchor point I must have missed. I want to add an anchor point to the line. Come on. There we go. I think I got it that time. Let's find out. I keep on missing. Okay. Anyway, I'm not going to try to curve the light that way. I'll zoom in and see if I can get it. Anyway, let's get that. Come on. Path. Hopefully I got it that time. If I didn't get it that time, I'm not going to continue. And let's grab it. There we go. So I got it at that point. I'm going to move it into the center, and then I'm going to curve it. So that's going to look more like the bottom of the spaceship. Okay, so now I have all of those. Perfect. Now I'm going to start to go to shading. Okay? And I want to go back to my original. There we go. There's my original. And I want to deal with just the top. So I go back here. I'm going to go Alt, click, drag. I want a second one. Then I'm going to go Alt, click, drag. And I'm going to move that one there. Oop, didn't get that. Sorry. Alt, click, drag. There we go. Okay. So what I'm looking for is I want this little piece right here. So I'm going to select both of them, and I'm going to go to minus front. I also have this little piece here. I want that little piece gone. There we go. So I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to drag it, and this is now going to be that little curve on the front of the ship right here. So I'm going to go back to this. I don't want it quite like that. I want to shrink it a little bit. And there we go. Shrink it a little bit there. Shrink it a little bit there. That looks about right. And I can use my down and up arrow keys to move it. So there's the little shine there. I'm going to use a circle. Just going to make a small one here. That one. And that will be my highlight right there. Let's put another highlight in. I want to highlight in the light right here. And I just want to think about how I want to do that one. Okay, I'll be honest, I'm not going to mess with that right now because I think it's just going to complicate things. Then when I go back to my example, I want to highlight here as well. And again, to do that, I'm going to select just the top, Alt, click, drag. There's one. Alt, click, drag. There, sorry. Let me click off of it. There we go. Alt, click, drag. Now I got two. But what I want is I just want the front of it. So I'm going to line them up. Select all. Minus the front. Then I'm going to take this piece and fit it in down here. Okay. So I can start to add highlights. So now with the coloring, and I do have a few more minutes, so we're doing okay here. I'm going to double click on this one. And I'm going to go down and choose my gradient. I will pull my gradient out so you can actually see it. Let me get this out of the way. I got a bunch of junk in the... There we go. So I want to choose the radial gradient, so it's in the center. Then I'm going to go here, double click, and let's go with that blue. And now we're going to go over here, double click, and we're going to use white. But I don't want that. I want it reversed. So I can simply pull it over, pull it over. I want a little bit more white, so let's drag the white out. That's okay. Okay. I also want the color, and I guess that's about okay. Angle's fine. Okay, we'll live with that. And now I'm going to go up to the opacity up here. And I'm going to change my opacity down to like, that looks about right. click off. Great. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my highlight here. And actually, I can do both of, well, I could probably do both of them at the same time, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go down to the center. I'm going to make sure that it's on the gradient. This gradient, I think I'll also go from the center, but this time in my gradient, I want to add a little bit of yellow to it. And a little bit of yellow, a little bit of white. Let's go from the side, and we're going to put, let's switch these again. I want a little bit of yellow in the front. Let's go with that. Now when I click back in, see it's still on top, and it still has a stroke.
Can I have your attention, please? Taylor Briette, please.
So minus that announcement, I have to go back to this piece, make sure I have only that. I'm going to take the stroke and make it null. And remember how I made the front transparent? Well, and that did not go null, so let's get that null again. Come on, go null. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to click on this. I'm going to right click, arrange, and I'm going to send to the back. Try that one more time. It didn't. Oh yeah, it won't send to the back because I'm in isolation mode, which can be a pain, by the way. Because I just want that piece. Let's try it one more time. And send to the back. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab this piece. I'm going to move it up here. I'm going to the selection on this stuff drives me nuts. I'm going to switch tools and go to the direct selection tool. Now I'm going to select it. There we go. Right click, arrange, send to the back. Now I'm going to grab it. Now I'm going to grab it, place it on top. And it should be in the background now. It apparently is not. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop its opacity to about 50%. So select it. Finally, okay. Drop it to about 50%. There we go. That's looking a little bit better, but I do not like how I shaded it. So I'm going to grab it again, and I'm going to go for the center light. And I want a lot more white. So let's do more like, I do not like all that yellow. So let's pull some of that yellow away. There we go. That one looks okay. A lot of work to try to get that. Now I'm just going to do one more. Again, I want this to be sent back, so I'm just going to drag it out here. There we go. And I'm going to send it to the back. I just want to make sure it's behind. Now I'm going to grab it. I'm going to make its stroke null. I'm going to give this just a little bit of yellow. So this time I'm going to go to my white, and I'm going to die in just a minute, meaning that the broadcast is going to go. I was trying to make that a little bit yellow. Place it in the center. There we go. There we go. So I got my two highlights. So from here, you would just continue to shade things until you get this.